Hello everyone, welcome back to the Mental Health Experience on Wednesdays. Today we're going to be talking about a really important topic. Everything I'm going to talk about today is going to be geared towards, as I've mentioned a million times, the teachings from Dr. Ellis, again, who is now considered the #1 most influential person in psychotherapy above Sigmund Freud. He is the creator of cognitive behavioral therapy, which is the gold standard for basically the most rational way to think ever. So we're going to talk about, this is a really important topic because there is almost everything you hear in this self-help realm will not actually get you to change. And I'm going to tell you why. So today we're covering why people don't change. So I have a couple things listed on here, and we're not going to gear this towards actual habits because so intertwined through his teachings, beliefs, thoughts, and actions all are tied in together. If you're feeling a certain way, you're more than likely going to act in accordance with the way you're thinking and feeling, and vice versa. If you have a belief, you're probably going to think and act in certain ways. It all ties together. So everything we're going to talk about today is geared off of basically the beliefs that people hold. And this isn't just strictly for OCD, which is what I suffer from, or in the recovery, not suffer anymore. But this is geared towards what he found is the #1 reason how people are living their lives and creating their own problems. So, #1, we underestimate our challenges. There are way too many accounts and way too many therapists and way too many gurus who make it out to seem too easy. Now, all of these are basically all tied in together. I picked these 3 for a reason, but I think Simon Sinek said it the best. You have a mountain in front of you, and it doesn't matter if you take a ladder or a helicopter. But you still have a mountain in front of you when you've been holding some type of a rational belief that's now causing you maybe chronic anxiety or depression. You've been holding this belief for a while. And we have all these different people that underestimate and give advice to basically make you either feel that you can conquer this within weeks. Anything that tells you you're going to conquer some sort of an irrational belief in a week or 2 or a month, I highly suggest looking elsewhere because that is not the case anecdotally and empirically. It takes a very long time. A huge systematic review, I looked at cognitive behavioral therapy that weren't even looking at people with, say, OCD or generalized anxiety disorder, found that majority of them took them 6 months and the better part of a year to actually unroot those beliefs they had. So again, there are way too many people out there that make these types of things seem way too easy. And what does this do? It leaves people feeling hopeless. It leaves people feeling lost because they're like, well, no, this account says that I can get over this belief or I can change my whole entire structure of how I see things and my perspectives in a month or 2. And the reality is that is not how it's going to work. #2, spend a little bit of time on this. So wrong tools, tips, tricks, meditation, mindfulness, and grounding. So anytime anyone is telling you a tip or a trick to get underneath an irrational belief that you're holding or maybe chronic anxiety, that is grounds for ludicrousy. It's ludicrous. So that doesn't work. And tips and tricks, again, keep us feeling hopeless. So we live in this society of instant gratification, so we want things now. And I always use this as an example. If I came on TV and I was like, hey, what's up? You have depression. Your depression, scientifically shown, is more than likely caused by your irrational beliefs. Those irrational beliefs you're holding are actually what's more than likely changing the chemical imbalance. If the chemical imbalance theory was correct, then everyone who took a tricyclic antidepressant would get better. But that's not the case. The numbers needed to treat are garbage. The side effects are garbage. Now, medication, I'm a chiropractor, so I can't speak on medication, can have a lot of benefits for people like this, but it is not going to get underneath your fears. You have to unroot your fears by looking at your irrational beliefs. So we see a lot of stuff, meditation and mindfulness and grounding are just these huge buzzwords. I'm telling you right now, if you have an irrational belief, no amount of grounding or meditation or mindfulness is going to unroot that. You have to look at what your beliefs are, you have to look at what your fears are, and you have to start unrooting them in a systematically balanced way. Now, this goes different for Gen Pop and different for someone who has severe OCD disorder because they have to worry about this becoming compulsive, and the general population doesn't really have to worry about that because they don't have an actual disorder. So it's a little bit different. So I'm talking mainly towards just general population right now. If you are seriously chronically anxious because of perfectionism, Albert Ellis talked about that perfectionism is basically one of the number one causes, the top 3 causes of chronic anxiety, depression. People are obsessed with perfection because of multiple reasons. The fear of being judged, the fear of being wrong, and those are big things. Like as a doctor, and any doctor, doctors are very afraid of being like, I don't know something. I don't care at all. I don't care about going in front of a panel of other people and saying, I'm not an expert in cardiology, but people pretend to know everything because they have an irrational belief that they do not want to be judged. And this causes severe anxiety in a lot of people. So no amount of meditation or being present in the moment is going to unroot that belief. This isn't to say that these things can't be helpful towards back ends of things, because they can be. Mindfulness is important in a lot of different aspects. Meditation has lots of great stuff, but there are numerous gurus, accounts, and therapists who tell people if you just meditate, if you just do breathing exercises, all of your problems will go away. Excuse my language, that is absolutely fucking bullshit. Absolutely. Again, instant gratification. A lot of people actually don't understand. There's only a few people who truly understand anxiety disorders. So, and very few. And most of the information you see is not good and helps only on the surface level. So there are so many people out there that are like, screw your mom, just do what you want to do. That person has a belief. Just telling someone to say, hey, screw my mom, I'm going to go out there and be the best, doesn't work. It might work for a very small amount, but that person has a belief system that they're holding, and they've probably been holding it for a very long time. So these simple surface level things that a lot of these top gurus talk about, they don't understand mental health or cognitive behavioral changes, and that's okay. But when you understand it and you actually understand the teachings of cognitive behavioral therapy, which came from rational emotive behavioral therapy from Dr. Albert Ellis, you realize that these surface things don't cut it. So again, finally, you're not getting to the core of your belief. And this ties in everything. As I said, meditation can be awesome. Mindfulness can be awesome. But if you're holding some deep belief, no amount of that is going to unlatch that belief. Again, OCD recovery, Gen Pop. This is completely different, and I'm gearing it towards Gen Pop. So Gen population, again, you don't have a serious disorder, which is amazing. So you have pros and cons to that, but you also are going to have to get underneath these beliefs. And this is what Albert Ellis did in his psychotherapy for 65 years, because humans create their own problems. Nobody triggers us. Nothing makes us mad. Our beliefs make us mad. Our perspectives make us mad. Again, I've used this simple quote or simple analogy or metaphor. If 100 people got into a car accident, 100 people were going to act differently. Some people would be super angry. Some people would be indifferent. Some people would be happy because they get a new car. So to say that that event, the activating event, is the reason that triggered you is actually not true. It has a part. It absolutely has a part. I've used this example before. You can't just go to someone who's been in Auschwitz and be like, that's not the reason why you're depressed. That's dangerous. It is a problem, but it's not the main driving factor of your misery. It is your perspective on the situation, no matter how hard that situation is. That is still untalked about all throughout anything in mental health. And Albert Ellis, the creator of the gold standard for all this, realized that through his years of teaching and creating cognitive behavioral therapy. The other reason that people don't reach their goals, this ties back into instant gratification, I want things now, is patience and perseverance. We are completely lacking that as a society because we're geared with our phones, with fast food. Everything that our whole society is based off of, it is, I can sit on my couch, I can order food, I don't have to do anything. I can just click on my phone and watch porn. Like, there's so many different things that don't allow us to gain patience, and you have to actually really work for that. 300 years ago, if you wanted food, you had to go out and get that food. Okay, this isn't inherently a bad thing. This is just the way society is, but you have to be cautious about how this works. It's the same thing with social media. Anyone that tells you that social media is inherently good or bad it's just not true. Black and white thinking, just how Albert Ellis talks about, can be potentially very dangerous. With some things, like, we're not talking about shooting heroin or crack here, where it more than likely is problematic all the time, but social media is like anything. It needs to be balanced. You don't just walk around with a 6-pack of beer in your pocket all day long, but you walk around with your phone all day long. This is why this stuff is, if anyone is making out these complex topics to be way too simple, underestimate the challenges, given the wrong tools, just meditate, just do that, they do not fully understand what it takes to change a belief. And that is why, that is the true reason, the real reason why people don't change. That has nothing to do with laziness. It's just that they're not patient, they have no perseverance, and this takes a long time. If you have had a perfectionism belief for 15 years, there is no way you're getting over that in a month or two. I've never seen it, and I work as a moderator in an OCD recovery platform where I deal with severely, highly anxious, chronically ill people giving advice through my journey. So that is a problem. Do you see what I'm saying? So again, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not a mental health counselor, just from personal anecdotes and experience. Having severe OCD and coming out the back end of recovery right now, was in the mental hospital, almost took my own life. It was really serious. So this is the real reason why people don't change. And I'll make another video about how to structure scientifically changing habits. Because remember, we have a cue, we have a habit, and then a reward. Sometimes you have to take out the cue. Okay, it might not be the balanced approach, like taking the cookies out of the house, but it is a scientific way to start building a habit. This video is strictly based on beliefs. So this is the real reason, again, why people don't change. And again, it comes down to making it out being too easy. You have a belief. No amount of mindfulness or meditation is going to change that belief you've had for 15 years. You got to unroot that belief and get underneath it and have unconditional self-life and other acceptance and move with uncertainty. Humans are way too obsessed with certainty, and humans almost always work with conditional self-acceptance. This is why Albert Ellis wrote a book called The Myth of Self-Esteem. Self-esteem, no matter what any guru or any person that's worth $1 billion tell you, is not real. Self-esteem is always conditionally based and always has the potential to lead to poor mental health. You don't need anyone's approval, but me just telling you that, you have to unroot why you think you need people's approval, because you're afraid of being wrong. Do you see what I'm saying? Just telling someone, you don't need anyone's opinion. Well, in your mind, you've had a belief that you need people's opinion because you're afraid of being wrong. So just saying, I don't need anyone's opinion, that doesn't work like that. You have to unroot that. And that is a real problem in the way that we go about changing people. Hope you guys enjoy. Thank you so much. Have a great day.